Gemini, welcome to Mountain Medicine Tarot. My name is Mindy, and we're going to do the medicine wheel spread today. So, I have your cards here for Gemini 2018. Okay, so we have your center right there in the center. We have the South, which is all about your relationships, past experiences, vulnerability, inner self, childlike self, and relationships. And then over here we have your inner workup as far as what's going on within you, like the hibernation stage is over there, and up here is moving forward with your mind as far as moving upwards, connecting to higher source, higher being, great mystery, the eternal Tao, God source, whatever you want to call it. The stars. And then over here is moving forward in the physical realm. So we kind of start with the past, go within, then up, then forward. So let's get started. We'll look at the bottom of the deck. We've got burdens. So let's see what's going on there. And right here next to expansion. Okay, so the storyteller is right in the center, and this person is likely not to have a home, and they just kind of mosey on around all of the different tribes and then tell all of the stories about other tribes and victories and losses, but they tell them in legend. So it's all stories that are kept like Native American language, which is where these cards are from. Wasn't even written until, the 1800s or so. So they were just passed down and evolved, and it was like this really beautiful thing. So this person would share experiences. And then we have here self-reliance. And the burden basket is all about, it's like a backpack. So people would carry around only what they can hold, and obviously the big strong men would carry one size of backpack, and then the little kids would carry one size, and so on. So then we have our past sector. Upside down is this class clown guy. So I've talked about him a lot if you're a return person, but he is designated, kind of called upon, same as the storyteller would be, to be the trickster and kind of this hell on wheels. So this guy would show up to like your wedding day or your family dinner or something, and he would come in and just like spill everything and start dancing on the table and like wreck everything, or like soak everybody with a squirt gun on your wedding day, right? And instead of looking at him, everyone already knows that's him. That's what he's there to do. People instead would be looking at you to see how you handle the situation. You see, so this was upside down. So this is about taking things lightly, letting things roll off your back, and not letting it become heavy for you. So then we're going to look within, and this is usable energy. Very cool. So this is thunder beings, and thunder and lightning is the earth and sky communicating. It's this really crazy cosmic intercourse, frankly, between Mother Earth and Father Sky, and it's a very sacred thing. So the rain was celebrated for a lot more than just watering the crops. It was the children of Earth getting to experience Mother Earth and Father Sky having this like super intimate connection, which is the lightning bolt, right? So it's this usable energy where you are the catalyst, you are the lightning rod, and then the earth and the sky run through you. And it's this energy cycle that we're able to harness and put forward in the means of manifestation in that. So then we move forward here upwards, that's to the Star Nation. And this is the ability to respond. So what the universe is saying with this card is it's not necessarily about the baby. If you've been thinking about a baby, let me know. I don't do babies on general readings, so you have to come talk to me if you're thinking about a baby. So just because I can't give yes or no answers with the amount of people who watch. So instead of the baby, we're actually the cradle board in this card anyway. So you're not the baby, you're thinking about the baby except for means of protecting it. And your baby can be anything. It can be your career, your relationship, your home, your video game, whatever. But it's the ability to utilize everything that you've been given to create this protection for the next 7 generations. Okay, so the baby represents the future, and the cradle board is you that you are being asked to create with the circumstances you've been given. And that ties in here with storyteller as far as bringing things together that you've already learned, utilizing them in a way that makes sense, and then responding to those burdens or, past experiences that have been less than fun for you. And rather than letting them burden you or make you feel down and out, you actually put all of those concepts together and make something that's actually lucrative or helpful out of that. So let's see, moving forward, we've got sweat lodge, so purification. There's some work to do on the body, mind, and spirit. This is what the sweat lodge is. It's, a tent, and then they use steam and hides to cover it all up, and you sit in there and sweat and steam, and it's a really, really wonderful experience, because walking out of it, you feel every single pore on your body open up, and it's like Jesus of Nazareth, from every pore or whatever. So it's a very, very wonderful experience, and it's just a way to allow your body to sweat it out, get it out, and stop letting it beat you up. Okay, because I just feel like it's been less than fun for you. So let me pull, we've got 4 decks to pull. This one here, hold on, I'm getting ahead of myself. We're going to do this one. So this is the Medicine Wheel deck. This is the back of a card. It just shows the positions that we're doing and who represents what place. So the south is the, sorry, I was going to say fox, but it's a wolf, and it's other people because they live in packs. And then the bear, which is the west side, which I can't move my thumb, is over here, and they hibernate, right? So it's about that going within yourself, going inside of yourself, and doing that self-reflection. And then upwards is the buffalo, and the buffalo is abundance, because everything can be made from a buffalo. And, they use the skull for ceremony and the hide for the sweat lodge, and everything is used. And then on top of that, the buffalo, according to legend, didn't run from the people in the beginning. They would just kind of give themselves to the people because they know that the purpose is correct. So that's this part up here. It's like this abundant source of energy. And it's a white buffalo, which is imperative because the white buffalo symbolizes a time of peace on Earth. It's like the 5th world of peace, or 5D, 5th dimension. So super humongous energy there. And then the eagle is at the east, and that's moving forward, flying into the sunset, that type of thing. So, anywho, so we'll see what this card is, just because I have it, and it's the Leo card. So this doesn't necessarily mean that you are a Leo or there's a Leo in your midst. However, the energy behind Leo, which is about victory, courage, moving forward through life lessons, it's about utilizing energy and putting it forward in a way that looks very diplomatic, and it looks very victorious and unafraid. So that's how I feel about Leo there in your reading. So we'll put that in the middle, and then I'll pull another one, because that one is kind of a just do it type thing. So for Leo, the past. For Leo's past. This can be over 2017. This can be the last month. This can be yesterday. It just depends on when you're watching. And so for the south shade of Gemini. Alright, so in the past, we've got this blue moon. So this card has come out for everybody so far. I think this is a really big message for 2018. And this is about mastery. It's a kind of the same here, where, like I was saying, victory, courage, leading with that victorious part of you that really doesn't take no for an answer in a really good and powerful way. And then this one here is recognizing the things that you've learned, kind of this same way right here, where you're utilizing the tools that you have, recognizing that they are here for your evolution, and you're like mastering the art of alchemy and changing things from happening to you, where this like burden basket kind of is, and realizing like, oh, that was actually needed for my development. And it's right here next to the upside down clown. So either somebody has like wronged you, or you feel like you were made fun of, or it could be lots of things, but I just feel like it wasn't that great of an experience, and you're just ready for this courageous energy, and it's really close. We've got the storyteller here, which is like, it's all for good, though. It's telling your story in a way that's going to help lots of other people. And the way that it helps people is how you were able to come out victorious, and how you were able to rise above and give yourself more at the end of the day. So however you can display that to other people is going to be very helpful for them. So let's go over here with this usable energy. Perfect. Okay. Interesting. Thunder and thunder. So, very cool, Gemini. This is, we've got lots of fire energy associated with this. I wonder almost if this is like the other person. Maybe this is a fire sign, because there is just lots of fire here. But if not, because I'm hoping there wasn't like a bad situation that we need purified from, but I'm kind of getting that with the purification, the burdens, the Heyoka being upside down. So we'll find out what this is all about, but I think it's really great that we have two thunders. So whatever that is going to be big, and we're going to come back to it. Just because I want to know whether or not that's, I'll just ask for another one right now. So is that for them within, or is that for their relationship? Okay. And then, okay, balanced relationships, self-expression, boundaries. So I guess it's not going to tell me which one. But this is about rest, and Aquarius is, an air sign, and they are right in the middle of winter, and so everyone's kind of doing this balance thing, and every Aquarius that I've met has a really keen ability to get with people, not with them, but get along with people. So it has to do with that balanced relationship. So I'm feeling like maybe there's some relationship energy going on right here, but then right underneath it was self-expression. So that's what happens when you ask a specific question to the cards. Because either you have a fire burning within you, or you have a fire sign messing with you. And I will find out. I'll get to the bottom of it, hopefully. Because we have two other decks after this one to go around the circle, so patience is key. Now we'll go up to the higher self, the higher knowing place, and what we have so far is that ability to respond, which goes really beautifully with this mastery card, and I like that duality. So let's see what we can get up here by the cradle board for Gemini to assist the next 7 generations use their relationship or other strife in order to help others, because that's obvious, the imminent here. Okay, so moving forward, we have growth. So that's the spirit of the South, and that's, I kind of thought there would be more duality going on. So the spirit of the South is all about acceptance, and like I said, moving with the pack. It is represented by a wolf, so I'm not sure why they put horses on here, and then, wolves on these other cards. Anyway, it's just been a super frustrating thing to know and have to see and have it be counteracting. But anyway, so the horses still run in a pack. Other than that, ignore the horses. But it's about acceptance, and it says here gateway, and I think that is because once you kind of accept that what's done is done, you understand that with every circumstance is the opportunity to grow, right? And we have this like ability to respond right there, and this one being mastery of your senses, essentially. So, or mastery of like your own story. It's incredible the kinds of changes you can make in your immediate circle, even, or people online in groups like Facebook groups, which I just found the world of just recently. So mine is Mountain Medicine Mindset. If you wanted to search it up, I'll put a link down below. But yeah, just sharing your story in places like that is like extremely helpful towards other people. But let's see what we have as far as this purification in the forward movement sector. I don't see. Okay, so Gemini, yay. So this is balancing energy, honesty, and emotion. So Geminis can get a bad rap sometimes for being the twin, right? You kind of have some duality going on, like the South card is in the North position, and you got fire there where it's supposed to be here, and this is the place for purification, and that's over here. So that's fine, and that's good, and it is what it is, because it happens all the time. But overall, and I like that the elk is here, actually, because the medicine of the elk is stamina, and it's just about, like, that steadfast walking towards the light anyways, even though other people are bringing you down, which I do feel like there's a little bit of an energy, like, struggle going on right here. And I felt that with the last one, too. It was Taurus that I just did. So you're an air sign. I'm feeling like maybe doing some grounding stuff and some journaling, or, you know, what I found was really helpful is going over my 2017 stuff and researching what I wrote down for the first of 2017 and comparing it to 2018. So it just gives you that perspective of like, look at how far I've come, right? And then this one was on the bottom, and it's the energy of Taurus. And so if you're feeling a little bit sporadic, which I feel like it's a little bit on edge, a little bit left brain going on, this grounding energy of like earth and water, and then earth, and then more water, and then some earth and more water, like this frog. Like, they jump in and out, and they're transporting between worlds, if you think about it. So it's that ability to change so cooperatively and so easily between, you know, water and earth. And as you are a air sign and you've got a lot of fire going on, I just feel like, oh yeah, and then the very next one right here, sorry, they just keep popping up here, is synchronicity, balance, and certainty. And this is the energy behind Libra. This doesn't mean that you have this many outer energies coming in. It just means, you know, to embody Libra and Taurus as you go about your Gemini-ness. So, let's do another deck here. We're not done yet, so I'll pull some more, but I do think having this like air and earth, and then we've got air and fire, and then we've got south and north, it all just kind of needs to come together. So let's see where you're at, sweet Geminis. These are animal medicine cards. Okay, this one, ooh, okay. Those two popped, and this one popped out for the last one as well, Taurus. And you have Taurus here, so maybe you're connected to some Tauruses. That's okay. Now, this is the fox, and what does the fox say? Usually nothing. So they're kind of this crazy animal between the feline and the canine, and so they're really good at camouflage. They're good at tricking other animals into leaving them alone, honestly. And then they really have a keen eyesight for the unknown and for, you know, what they know for sure. You see what I'm saying? Like, they have this keen insight and impeccability as far as they don't miss. So that's in the center, and that just kind of To me, I like the keen eyesight a little bit more than I like the camouflage because I don't feel like there's any kind of need to be secretive about what you're doing, because I actually find that it's the storyteller and sharing and helping others to expand. So rather than that, I just want you to not twist your story, but to be strategic about it. It's just a matter of strategy and being very precise with your pounce, if you will. Okay, and then this is the eagle, which represents the east, and he's going in the south. So I realize that that's kind of confusing. But let me elaborate. So in the south, which is right here, we have this humor that something needs to be taken a little bit more lightly. It looks like this has not been a very fun sector for you as far as the relationships go. However, understanding that it was absolutely necessary for your evolution and recognizing what you can do with the knowledge you've learned is the lesson here. And so this eagle right here is all about illumination and clarity. And that's why we put it here, is because this is the action. So it's really good to have this past, within, upwards, okay, I'm ready type of energy to move forward. But instead you're getting this really ready energy down here. So I think with it leading in from relationships to within, this is telling you like you're ready to like unlock the secrets of your inner workup. And, you know, why things have happened the way that they did, and why you can't let go of this, or you see what I'm saying, like why the circumstances came about. And really that question is kind of a silly one if you think about it. That's like our spirit guides kind of laugh at us for asking why. Just because there's no rhyme or reason. We get what we attract, and we attract what we feel. So just be cautious of that and be very in tune with how you're feeling at any given moment. If you feel bad about going somewhere, say no. It's quite simple. It's just that simple. If it doesn't make you happy and you don't want to go, guess what? You really don't have to, and no one can make you. So let's look here as we're getting into that conversation into within, because I'd love to know what's going on with all this fire thunder stuff. So we have the within, Gemini, 2018, January. Okay. All right. So we have this prairie dog, and he's all about retreating. He's kind of cute. He makes his own little tunnels underground, right? And unlike a mouse or a squirrel or a lot of other rodent animals, he does not have to have his nose to the ground. Think of like a skunk or a anteater or a mouse. Like, they have to just have their nose down all the time. And this little guy is being very aware before he goes into his little retreat, and he comes out all the time. Right, Groundhog Day, like, he's one of the first ones to come out, and he's just very observant. I really like how he's, like, putting himself out there, and he might be a little bit afraid, but he's not leading with fear. He's more curious than anything else. So that's going here within, and it's, like, that curiosity and that ability to go inside yourself to find the answer. So oh, that makes sense. Because we did ask whether or not it was a relationship or not. So, we got lots of sevens. So, 7, 17, 47, and 36. So, 27 there. 2 and 5 makes 7. 2 and 9 makes 7. Well, that's awfully interesting. So, lots of sevens, which is cool because that's one of my favorite numbers. It's represents magic, just so you know. And, well, that makes sense if I'm guided to say that, because usable energy, fire, and then we have boundaries here and retreat. So we kind of have earth and fire over there. And like I said, we've got a lot of this duality going on that just feels a little bit chaotic. And it's totally fine, especially with the new year. Everyone's trying to pressure us to like think of our goals and like what really are you going to do with your life, you know? So everyone's in kind of a fight or flight right now. And all this reading is asking you to do is just first look at how far you've already come. Like that's a really big deal for the New Year's that people don't really understand. And or they understand it, but it's like more difficult to implement. Especially how, let's see. Oh yeah, the whole word resolution means like a plan to rectify a bad situation, right? But like there really are not any bad situations, even if we felt a little bit uncomfortable. The fact is we're wiser and we have that energy now that we can harness at any time. And I feel like that's what the fire is that energy within you that you can like pull through and get through this. So the balanced relationship, the boundaries and the retreat right here, I just feel like it's not really a good time to be looking outside yourself as far as relationships go. So if that's something that you've been curious about is the relationship thing, I just would say give it some more time. Let things pan out for a little bit. Do some inner work and concentrate there for a while. Just because you've got kind of like a library, like a content library within you that's building up. And let's see where we're going to go with it. Let's look up to the north now. Let's see what abundant energy is coming forward for the north card for 2018 Gemini. Okay, so we have the salmon here, which is inner knowing. And how interesting is it that they know to swim upstream even though it's the hard way? They just know. They just simply know that's what they're supposed to do, and so they push in that direction. So that's pretty cool that, you know, we've got this growth here, this inner knowing, and there's lots of movement, you know, going on over here. So I do feel like you've got some balancing to do, and once you get to that balance and that flow, you know, it will make more sense. So I feel like right now it doesn't make sense, but you're in kind of like analysis paralysis is what I like to call it, where it's like, okay, new year, new me, who am I going to be now? And it's like a little bit too left brain. So if you come back to flow, come back to alignment, like the decisions will come, and moving forward with boundaries again. So boundaries came back, let's see how many. We've got at least 2 boundaries and then a burden. So this just kind of tells me, especially right here in the action sector, that it's not exactly the best time for action. It's more time for boundaries. But be very cautious also of coming off too strong or pushing people away, because you don't want to do that. Like, we want to protect ourselves, and we also want to have relationships. So just kind of concentrate on who makes you feel the most, who makes you feel accepted and loved and amazing and sweet and just has good feelings that you can just be comfortable in your sweats with, because that's like kind of what I see right now is kind of like the sweatpants and messy bun type situation, at least for females. But excuse me, I keep getting like hiccups. So let's see, I want to make sure there's not something waiting to come out that wants to come out. So Gemini 2018. Okay, so moving forward here, we're going to get this little tiny deck out. This is actually corn. Corn is a really sacred plant. It provides corn pollen, which is used in ceremonies. The stalks are used to make sure that the beans grow tall, and corn is used to have cornmeal, fry bread, you know, it's blue cornmeal, but same diff. And yeah, it's just like this super abundant life force that just gives so much. So it's connected to mother energy. It's very nurturing. I'm really liking the green in here, this Taurus energy with the boundaries and like all of the circular things we have going on. I just feel like you have so much energy within you, and it needs to be kind of like directed. So until you feel like, okay, I'm ready, this is how I am going to move forward with like this determination type feeling, before you do that, I like this camouflage retreat kind of down in, and that's where you need to focus your power, because you've got a lot of power. Now I want you to use it on yourself to create a little bit of a life force or a protection spell is what me and my daughter call it. We do it all the time, you know, like surround yourself in the bright white light type of a deal. So I think that's going to be very beneficial for you this month. And then I've got this other deck here. Okay, so this one, with all of these angles, is going to go here in the south. I still have a book for one of these, all 4 decks, and I have one of them to look for. So, Sacred Precinct, and I'll maybe like write it down, but it's all about centeredness, your sacred space, being present, renewal, rebirth, and healing. So it's kind of like your own sacred temple type of a deal. It's sacred space, it's like a womb type energy, it's very mothering and nurturing and connected to water, and it's more of that force field. I really like the idea of the force field for you. And the power is within you to create it. I don't think you need outside forces to come in and help you with that, and that might be what the camouflage is about, because like not everyone needs to know that you're doing it right now, but once it's done, the expansion that you provide for others is going to be like awe-inspiring. So it's just so many beautiful things happen when we heal. And this one is advisors. So I take that back. Go ahead and reach out to coaches. I myself am a mindset coach. So Facebook, just type in Mountain Medicine Mindset and you can work with me there, or you know, have yourself a coach or a counselor or a relationship partner or your parents, and just do the advice work. Like maybe get some advice now, because with all of this, we've got thunder and higher beings. Let me just look up this card, because I know it means advisors, but I want to make sure it's for you to be utilizing. Yeah, it just says ancestors. So looking within yourself and doing this retreat work, you can do some research and find spirit guides through your DNA, which is pretty crazy. And so doing family history stuff I've found is actually very beneficial. Doing things like your zodiac sign, looking into maybe a little bit more into your astrology chart. For example, I'm an Aries, so I like lead with fire, right? It's my sun sign. Then I'm a rising Taurus and a Capricorn moon. So I'm 2 earth signs and a fire, if that makes sense. So if you're a Gemini and you're just like, I'm an air sign, I'm a full-blooded air sign, and that's it, you might have other parts that you can kind of fan out and research more. And you find out a lot about yourself when you look. And this one flipped. This one is the temple. And I like that it's right here next to the salmon. This has a lot of forward movement. All of these moving forward, and then we have the maze. So it's kind of like you feel like you have to move forward quickly. You really don't. This is a temple, like I said. And so it's more about your sacred space and understanding your emotions a lot more than it's about like moving forward and what am I going to do for work and what's in my career path, or, you know, do I stay or do I go? It's really not quick decisions. We cannot simply make quick decisions. We're just not supposed to do that. We're only supposed to do that in life or death situations. And when we bring that ego forward, or that logical brain forward, to get us out of situations that actually we already know, like the salmon going upstream, it actually creates more conflict. And that's how we're getting these energies that are kind of back and forth, is because you need to trust yourself and trust your inner knowing to already know what to do. And so down here, we have these two parrots, super cute, and they are little squawkers. They were in the middle of the village like a few months or sometime before the white man boats came to the shore. And these are Amazonian cards, if you didn't know. They're by Ben Carson, or I'm sorry, David Carson. So they went in the middle of the street and started squawking like crazy, and nobody could understand what they were saying. So they went and got the monkey, who then came and translated, and still nobody understood what they were saying, even with a translator. So, long story short, the boats arrived, and the people weren't able to understand because they've never seen a boat that size before. So, the message behind this card is they're trying to give you messages, spirit guides, ancestors, me, cards, whatever, God, whatever you want to call source or great mystery is showing up time and time again, giving you so much experience and so much inner knowing and so much guidance, and still you're running or retreating, or you have the power but you come up with your boundaries. And so it's a little bit of back and forth energy, but I feel like the balance is able to work out. Just really calm your mind, and that's the whole message for 2018 on a collective level. And then this one here is also ancestors. So, but this is more of an ancient way. So it's connected to the ancestors, but also to mammoths and, large, extinct, like prehistoric times. So let me find the elephant really quick. Oh, just kidding. I didn't write it. But you get what I'm saying as far as advisors and the wisdom aspect, and just being really also because elephants don't get messed with either. And I really like that whole idea of the boundary part. It's just like, be like a mammoth. Like, you've got all of this thunder behind you, and you need to be careful not to use it in like the bad way of fox, which is cunning and conniving and manipulative. And there's no need for you to retreat either. You just need to find a balance. And so that's a Gemini downfall almost, just historically, for having this, we've got sky and earth, and you know the story, but there's just a lot of duality and a lot of chaos. And so just come back to center and look to people who are older and wiser than you, simply because, like, for me, I'm a tarot reader, but I don't read my own cards because I like other people's intuition to intervene. So right here, I just feel like there's a lot of energy going on, a lot of things that just need to be put in a row. So definitely reach out to me, Gemini. It looks like you're getting kind of bombarded with a little bit too much going on in your left brain. So really concentrate on stuff like art and your own personal space. Make it really pretty. And, spend time on yourself as far as getting yourself up and ready and feeling confident, because that's what I was going for with the elephants, is the confidence aspect. Because we've got retreat and power on the same inner aspect. And so fire and earth, and then we have earth and air. So it's very opposites, but not in a free-flowing type of way. So I just really hope that you guys take care of yourselves, and you've got the victory card right here in the middle, as well as the self-reliance and expansion. So I feel like this abundant energy right here is just asking you to slow down. Don't fight or flight right now. Just master your own thoughts, master your own balance. Purify whatever is no longer serving you, because we have purify and burdens there. The inner knowing is obviously there. It's the ability to transform what you've already gone through into opportunities for new growth without, seeing cycles that are going to be frustrating. So, in order to do that, balance your chakras, balance your male and female sides, get into your zen, and, produce yourself enough time to be on your own watch and just see what happens. It's going to be really spectacular. So, I can't wait for next month to see how this works out for you guys. I totally understand all of the crazy energies going back and forth. 2018 is going to be a really, really big year, and there's just a lot of pressure to get things going. So concentrate on your earth and water stuff, and I'm saying that to everyone because earth and water and earth and water. So I do hope this helps. Reach out to me if you need to. I'm available at Mountain Medicine Mindset if you search that on Facebook, or you can comment on this video or send me an email. All right, we'll see you next time.